Gareth here from the Clevertouch education team. I'm going to show you today one of the apps that's been on a Clevertouch screen probably the longest, and that is our Legacy Whiteboard app. You will get the Legacy Whiteboard app on our much older screens, but also on the screens that we sell currently in 2024, such as the LYNX that I'm using today or the Impact Max. But where is the Legacy Whiteboard? Well, we can get to it from the main menu, but I'm going to jump to it in a rather cool way. So let's say I'm a teacher and I'm using Google Earth or some other app on the screen, and there's something I'm talking about that I'd like to jump into a whiteboarding space to talk about in more detail. So maybe we're zooming in on the United Kingdom and we want to start talking about the different countries that make up the UK. So here we have a nice image of the UK, and I'm going to capture that and take it into our Legacy Whiteboard. To do that, I'm going to use the floating pencil that we also have on both the LYNX and the Impact Max screens. And in there we have a crop or snipping tool. So I'm going to use this, stretch these nodes around the UK. Try not to miss any of it out. There we go. And I'm now going to hit Insert. And this is going to jump us to whichever of the whiteboarding options I've chosen as my default whiteboard, because we could of course use LYNX Whiteboard as well. But I've got the Legacy Whiteboard, and here we are, we've just jumped in. So let's just make it full screen. So now the image that I've captured has been taken straight into my whiteboarding space. I can manipulate that on the screen, and then I can pick up the pens and we can start writing on the screen. So we can be pointing out Northern Ireland, for example. Now, of course, I can write with my hands. I can write with the pens that come with the screen as well. And our Legacy Whiteboard is probably the most interactive touchscreen whiteboard out there. It's really responsive. It's 20-point touch on all of our older screens, but on our LYNX and our latest model of the Max, it's going to be a 40-point touch experience. So you can have multiple students coming up to the screen or scribbling away at once if you can fit them all in. So it's a really nice experience to use when writing on the screens as well. And also we can set both ends of the pen to do two different colours and thicknesses at once, which is another brilliant feature. But what else can we do with this? Well, I can also use my palm to erase any of the pen marks that I've popped onto the screen, so we don't want those scribbles on there. But we can do so much more as well as just using it as just a blank canvas. So over here, I have a menu with lots of different backgrounds that I can choose from. So we can pop different colours onto there should we want to, or we could jump to some textures, so we can have lines in the background or a grid. We can even do some team tactics for various sporting events as well. But let's say I don't want any of those, I want to bring in my own custom background. So I can jump to the custom background and go and find my own image. That could be from a linked cloud drive, Google Drive or OneDrive, or it could be from a memory stick if you're allowed to use those. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to pop into my pics folder, find a nice backdrop to bring in, and that will populate in the background really quickly and easily. With the cursor then, I can select all of the things that I've added to the screen very easily, shrink them down, manipulate them, move them around as well. If I want to add on another page, it's as easy as doing that. Maybe I don't want that background on there, so very quickly I can come back over here and just populate it with a nice coloured screen instead. We also have the ability to add in shapes. So as you're building something, scaffolding on the screen, you might want to bring in some coloured spaces, various colours. And we'll add one more into there. We also have a range of arrows and lines that we can use so that students can come up and make links between things on the screen, and we also have some 3D shapes in there as well that we can pop onto the screen, and we can manipulate those afterwards too. The other great thing about this space though is that it is an infinity canvas. So using the hand symbol here, I can shrink everything down and move it around, and we can go off screen. And so if I start to right in this second area down here, we can see that that can even be moved away too. And if I start writing in this third area, if I tap on the hand a second time, it brings up a map, and we can use that to find our way back to where we started off from too. So it's a nice way of being able to go off on a tangent, really go deep diving into something that we want to explore and go off on various tangents, but also shrink down the content so it's still there for reference to the students when we need to. We can also bring content into here that hasn't been cropped from the crop tool in the floating pencil. And we can do that by importing. So we can import images or PDFs into here. So I'm going to go to my memory stick again, and I'm going to find a document that I want to bring in. So here's one that I often like to use. It's an 8-page document all about the ancient Egyptians. So as I move through the pages, you can see that each page of this PDF has now been put onto its own page in the document. If I want to go to a particular page in here, I can bring up the slider bar and I can just move up and down through here and jump to any particular page as and when it's needed. I can also manipulate the page to make sure that that's as large as possible on the infinity canvas. And then of course, I can be writing on the slide and all around the slide as well, thanks to that infinity canvas experience that we give you. Now, when we finish creating these interactive whiteboard files, we can save them directly to the screen. We can also save them to your cloud drive as well, or to a memory stick, so you can take them away with you and open them on any other screen. We can also export them out as a PDF. So if you want a version that you then want to print out or email out to people that have been in attendance, you can do so as well. And for those in the room, you can also use this QR code system to turn all of the pages of the presentation into images that people can take away. So here's a QR code that I've just created of this presentation, and if I grab my trusty iPad and go onto the camera, here we go. I just have to scan this. And as long as my device is on the same Wi-Fi as the screen or a sub-network, it will then pull all of the pages of this presentation down onto my device. So you can see there, I can smoothly go through all the pages, really zoom in on them as well. So very handy if you've got students with visual learning difficulties, or if they can't make it up to the front of the screen, they can have all the pages on their device. Great if you've got students working somewhere else around the school or college, so they can have these pages to take away with them, or if you have a teaching assistant that's going to take a group to work somewhere else. It's a really nice experience being able to do that. Now, the Legacy Whiteboard also has an extra kind of hidden feature that not many people know about, and it's here in this palette symbol. When I tap on it, we actually go to a separate app. It's an app within the app called Palette. Let me just maximize it for us. And this is a great artistic tool. I really love using this. So there's a range of artistic media down here that we can use, and a really nice way of mixing colors. So if I choose pink as a color and I start mixing from black, you'll see it's actually like mixing in a real paint pot. Let's add yellow into there. So at the moment I've got that nice yellow color, but the minute I start mixing in here, it will jump to whatever color is chosen in there. So I can keep mixing and mixing, and I can go back the other way as well. So we can go back to the pink. And as I said, we've got these different styles. You can see it still uses the multi-point touch. Got some nice crayon effects. I really like the chalk as well, and this kind of spray can effect here as well. And what's great is that we can undo mistakes. So when the students are using this as an art tool, it doesn't matter if they make mistakes, but they can also import artwork into here or save the artwork that they create. So it's a great added extra that comes with both the Lux and the Impact Max screens from Clevertouch. So when you've got one of our screens, check out the Legacy Whiteboard. It is a great go-to resource that lives on our screens, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it.